This is a big week for the Jewish people. Yesterday, the polls were open in Israel for the fourth election in just 2 years. The exact outlook of the political landscape will become clearer in the coming days and weeks as the new party lists attempt to form a new government. We know that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's party, Likud, appeared to win the most seats in the exit polls on Tuesday, but his path to a governing majority grew more difficult as the official vote count continues. Final results are not really expected until Friday, and the lack of a decisive winner could prolong Israel's political stalemate, raising the prospect of perhaps another election later this year. God willing, this will not be necessary. All of the different parties have gone on record to say that they will do everything in their power to avoid a fifth election. But who knows? That said, we can almost certainly celebrate a powerful Shechianu moment. Rabbi Gilad Kariv, the former director of the Israel Religious Action Center and the director of Israel's Israel Movement for Progressive Judaism, has been elected as Israel's first Reform rabbi in the Labor Party to serve in the Knesset, the first Reform rabbi in the Knesset. And so on behalf of Holy Blossom Temple, we congratulate you, Rabbi Kariv, and we take pride in your leadership. This week, we also celebrate Pesach. And as we reflect on our freedom, perhaps we can let go of a little of the frustration of the political stalemate in the state of Israel. For this democratic election is actually a beautiful example that we are living out the promises that God puts forward in the Pesach narrative. That an enslaved people have no elections, no democratic process to voice concerns and lift up elected leadership. Yet, on the eve of Pesach, our Israeli brothers and sisters take part in an act that is not only a civic responsibility, but also a spiritual privilege. It is an expression of freedom that our ancestors longed for. This idea that we find in Hatikva, Liot Am Chofshi Be'artzenu, to be a free people and our land. We say Amen, and that this is a modern day miracle, that here we are in the state of Israel electing leadership, how far we've come since our Exodus. And with Pesach also comes the powerful tradition of counting the Omer. The Omer refers to the 49-day period between the second night of Pesach and the holiday of Shavuot. The word Omer literally means sheaf and refers to the barley harvest, offerings when Jews would go to the ancient temple and bring their first sheaves as a means of thanking God. And while Passover celebrates the initial liberation of the Jewish people from slavery in Egypt, Shavuot marks the culmination of the process of liberation, when the Jews become an autonomous community with their own laws, their own standards. And counting up to Shavuot reminds us of this process of moving from a slave mentality to a liberated mentality. And this year, perhaps more than ever, the counting of the Omer can also be an incredibly grounding experience for us. When days feel like weeks, and weeks feel like months, and months feel like fleeting days, counting the Omer each and every day gives us a piece of reality to hold on to. It gives us grounding. And in the coming days, you will be receiving the Holy Blossom Temple Bulletin. And in its centerfold, you will find a Omer calendar. That Holy Blossom counts the Omer together, each week representing a different midah, a different Jewish value. And each day of the week represents some form of tangible way of engaging with this tradition of counting the Omer. And so we hope you will take full advantage of this resource in our spiritual journey from Egypt to Sinai, from slavery to ultimate redemption. We're wishing everyone a Chag Sameach. We hope that you have a safe and meaningful Pesach. Take care.